What's up, guys? It is Chris back for Watch Chris. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell icon, and of course, hitting that like button if you find this video useful or helpful. Today, we're taking a look at the ADPT Series 1 Dual Time, a watch and a brand from a company that I really love. Based here in New York, actually in Brooklyn, they are called, of course, Worn & Wound, the Wind-Up Watch Shop. If you're not familiar with them, the Wind-Up Watch Shop is basically the shop arm of Worn & Wound. One of my go-to places for watch information. I'm basically on there every single day. And I also really love the Wind-Up Watch Shop as well. They have some great merchandise and they carry some amazing watches. The ADPT brand is their in-house brand. So that's an in-house brand to Worn & Wound. And it's basically all-purpose, all-day watches for all terrain or something like that. I might get that wrong, but they are very rugged watches and they have very rugged straps. Their straps are actually made in the United States. The ADPT Series 1 was a watch that I featured on my channel. That was a field watch. Very cool design, designed by Zach, one of the guys who started Worn & Wound. Really good looking, really rugged, everyday field watch. Today we're taking a look at the dual time version of that watch in a really cool color. And I'm excited to have one here hands-on to show you guys. Speaking of hands-on, let's take a look at the ADPT Series 1 Dual Time hands-on right now. All day, all purpose, all terrain. That's what ADPT actually stands for. This is their green colorway. I think they call it Mossy Shale or something like that. The first series that they came out with, their field watch, completely sold out. So if you want that watch, they actually don't make it anymore. You cannot get it. This, I would imagine, would go the same route. They actually are making less of these because there's only 2 colors. I think they made 4 colors of the original model. There's only 2 colors of this model. There's this and then sort of a bluish color, which is a little bit more summery. This is more of a mountaineering color, I would say, maybe. I don't know. It's a greener color, and the bezel option here and the dial option are a little bit more subdued, which I kind of like. I like the look of this watch and I like this subdued look, although I do like the colorful version as well. I'll throw a picture of that one up so you can see what I'm talking about. But this gets a layered dial like that ADPT Series 1, that first series that I featured here on my channel. I actually have mine on my wrist. I'll show you that watch in just a few minutes. It's not incredibly different from this watch. It gets a very similar case. The case on this watch, I believe, is made by Boulder. If you are familiar with Boulder, they make very high quality watches, and this is very similar to their field watch. This gets a different bezel. This gets a ratcheting bezel, 120 click bezel actually, with a aluminum insert. So this gets a bi-colored aluminum insert. Again, keeping with the colorway, it's sort of a silvery blue, very light blue on the top, and then at the bottom, it's a greenish, goldish color. It is unidirectional and has 120 clicks. Let's listen to it. Sounds great and everything lines up. There are cardinal markers on the bezel, so you could use this as a compass. So there's some of those right around there. And then of course there's a 60-minute track that goes around the entire bezel. So you could use this as a dive watch if you wanted to, because you do get 200 meters of water resistance. That's really good considering that they're trying to make an everyday watch. So basically you can really do anything you want with this watch. Screwed in crown, screwed in case back. So makes a lot of sense. Sapphire crystal is flat. I believe it has some AR coating, but even if it doesn't, it's really very good at handling the reflections in my studio. As you can see, moving it around, you don't really see all that much. You have a very layered dial on these watches, on both versions of them, on the Series 1 that came out last year and on the dual time. So this gets a textured dial, which is layered. So there's that bottom layer, which is the texture. It's sort of a hobnail pattern, or whatever you want to call it, a waffle pattern. Very 90s inspired, and that's kind of the inspiration behind this design. You have applied indices. Those are very liberally applied with lume. And then you have a crosshair. That section sort of sits on top of the textured section. There's Also some indices that sit on top of that, those are also filled with lume. And then you have the hand stack. The hand stack, all of the hands have lume. So I love to see that because in the dark you can see, first off, the time. You could even see the GMT time, and you can see that the watch is working because the second hand, you can see that is ticking away because you have a large lollipop on there, and you can see that's loomed in the dark. You have a date on this dial, which is sort of hidden, has a little bit of a trick. The numbers are stacked. They did that with the first version as well, and you can see it's right there. It's in that crosshair that they put on the dial. Except it's embedded within the 6 o'clock position. So it sort of takes the place of the 6 o'clock position. It disappears on the dial when you're not looking for it. When you are, it's there. It's a GMT. So this gets an NH34 Seiko automatic. This is a military GMT or an office GMT. I like to call it a military GMT because it makes it sound cooler. Essentially, all it means is that when you unscrew the crown and you are setting the GMT time, it is that blue hand that will skip, and that's how you change the GMT time. You do that in one direction, the other direction you change the date. Simple. Very simple and very, very useful. This is a 38 millimeter case. So it comes in at around 38.4 millimeters is what I measured at the bezel, 38 millimeters at the case, exactly. Then you have a very short lug to lug. The lug to lug is 44 millimeters, 13.3 millimeters thick, 5.8 millimeters on the crown, and it is signed with the ADAPT logo. Strap on this one is an olive colored strap. I'm not sure that they would call it olive. They probably have some sort of fancy way of saying olive, but it looks like olive to me. I'm not sure if it's something different, but if it is, I will put that name up on the screen. Really nice straps, and I love that they put one big keeper. I hate two keepers. A lot of times when I buy a strap or buy a new watch even, I will cut off one of the keepers because I like to have one keeper only. And usually there's always two, and there's one floating around somewhere, which I don't like. And it has the ADAPT A here. I believe under here it says made in the USA. So under this tag, it says made in the USA. I think the material is actually made in the USA as well. It's not just assembled in the United States. It actually is made in the United States. So really nice strap. Let me show you the watch that I have on my wrist and we'll talk about price. This is the Series 1 that sold out. So this has a bi-directional bezel. It's a friction fitted bezel, a little bit different, powered by an NH35. And this gets 200 meters of water resistance, still in titanium. And you can see why these sold out. Very good looking, 90s inspired, but obviously thoroughly modern watch. And I really do love the look of this. And I really like the bolder case here because the titanium case is light. It gives you everything you need in an everyday watch. So this is currently available in the Wind Up Watch Shop. I will put a link to this watch down in the description below. I think they are asking $499 for this watch. It comes with a couple of little extras like this ADAPT travel pouch right here, which is a clamshell enclosure made with ripstop material. Just a cool little extra that it comes with, and it is obviously useful because you use it for traveling and carrying an extra watch or storing your watch when you're not using it, so that is pretty cool. Again, it goes with the package. Everything looks kind of 90s designed, which I really love. I'm a child in the 90s. Very good looking watch for $499. Well, there you go. Lume is excellent on this watch. The bezel is very liberally applied with lume. The indices very liberally applied with lume. And the hands, of course, are all lumed, including the GMT hand and including that second hand, which has a very large block of lume on it. And you can see it's very easy to see that it's working in the dark. I really like that. Tell me what you guys think of this down in the comments below. Worn and Wound, obviously Worn and Wound right here. Worn and Wound and the Wind Up Watch Shop. A bunch of guys over there who actually love watches. I have conversations with them on a pretty regular basis. They are really great people and they do love watches, actually love watches. And that's all they want to talk about. And that's kind of why I really like their website and I really love their shop. And obviously I attend the Wind Up Watch Fair here in New York. Hopefully I could do more this year. We will see. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of the design of this watch? Do you like the design? Is it too 90s for you? It's not too 90s for me. I really like it because, like I said, I'm a child of the 90s, so this is something that I find very appealing. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.